Wars have destroyed the world and their consequence is irreversible. They bring death, destruction and poverty to the whole humankind. They leave families without fathers, mothers without sons, people without homes and countries without enough resources. The fall of empires and the rise of new ones, the spread of disease, guns and tanks that replace swords and bows, millions killed in combat, these are all part of history's grand sweep. The history of the planet is full of war, destruction, hate and civil wars. The human beings were always fighting each other. And life of many innocent people were lost in these wars. Sometimes their lives were lost at the very birth. Wars are terrible experiences. While most wars in the 20th century involved both civilians and soldiers, world wars also caused immense destruction to people's lives, families and communities. World wars and civil wars, elimination and killing are the consequences of our actions. How to avoid them? During the years of World War II, 1939 to 1945, some of the most terrible atrocities occurred in Europe, Africa, Asia and the Pacific. Wars were raging in every continent at once. The war was waged not only by nations but also by groups of people with ethnic or religious differences. World War II was a global war that lasted from 1939 to 1945. It involved most of the world's nations, including all of the great powers, eventually forming two opposing military alliances, the Allies and the Axis. More than 70 million military personnel, including 60 million Europeans, were mobilized in one of the largest wars in history. It's a nice place but they might kill you. There's always violence and wars all across the different countries. Don't believe it? Ask any local and they will tell you. World wars, destruction and chaos have been a part of our history. This is a list of wars from the beginning of time until now. This is a listing of the top 10 deadliest wars to be fought in human history. Beginning with World War I, which resulted in over 4 million deaths and ended in 1918. Followed by World War II, that had 60 million casualties, making it one of the deadliest wars ever recorded. A world at war, the best thing to do is sit back and watch. The world has no idea what a civil war could bring about. The only thing we know for sure is that people will be killed, cities destroyed and stuff like that. They are not fun, they are terrible and tragic. People suffering from warfare lose their families, homes and country. The world has not yet recovered from World War I, a war that took place between 1914 and 1918. It was followed by World War II only 20 years later. The next big war in history was the Vietnam War, which began in 1954 and took 10 years to finish. Wars can have devastating effects on people's lives. There are many reasons why people fight or dislike each other so much that they want to kill each other.